Oh, another week, another serious flock camera injustice or five. A Dodge Durango hit a motorcycle, killing a grandfather, and fled the scene. Officers arrested Lindsey Isaacs as being the driver, even though they already had enough information to rule her out. But she still spent 2 weeks in jail because the flock AI matched her car. That and the police refused to do basic police work. There are getting to be too many of these examples. When you see the propagandists suck the tea to flock and law enforcement sharing the success stories, they pretty much go the same way. Police did actual police work, got a warrant, used a flock camera and other methods to track down the suspect, justice is served. It's not even clear in those stories that the flock cameras were necessary. But the thing is, even if every single cop does it the right way, flock cameras by themselves are unconstitutional surveillance. Flock isn't even the only supplier of these cameras, although they are the largest. Flock claims that its AI system has a 96% accuracy rate. But that's not what we're seeing in the real world. For example, in Roseville, California, 71% of its flock alerts were incorrect. We've talked before about how you can play with percentages and get the figure you want. I mean, 96% of what? Chris Van Pelt, founder of HaveIBeenFlocked.com, said, quote, "It's much bigger than a camera owned by a police department taking pictures of the license plate. It's a national network. It doesn't matter how small your town is, you're probably running 1 million searches in a month from everywhere. A lot of people are just not aware of how networked and interconnected all of this is." We've also got a sideways punt into the old civil asset forfeiture racket. Lindsey Isaacs' Durango was seized outside her apartment, with one officer saying the car had damage consistent with the crash. They seized it and kept it. Didn't even charge Isaacs. Then, 6 months later, after all other attempts to retrieve her property failed, Isaacs sued. And that was when they arrested her. She said, quote, "I was terrified. I didn't know if I was going to get hurt in there, or how I was going to get treated, where I was going to be, how long I would be in there. I didn't want to be alive. It was a nightmare." Only after her arrest did investigators take over the case, and it immediately fell apart. She had purchased the Durango 2 months before the accident, and it still looked brand new, without a scratch on it. Unlike what that officer claimed he saw. I guess not only AIs hallucinate. But the paint on the victim's car, a Ford Focus, was red, and Isaac's car is black. Witnesses said the airbags went off. Hers hadn't. Another witness reported a partial license plate that did not match Isaac's. All of this information was available the day of the accident, but instead they believed an AI that couldn't even get the color right. The charges against Isaacs weren't dismissed until police arrested the real perpetrator. Once again, AI does not make incompetent people competent. AI amplifies their incompetence. The Institute for Justice has identified dozens of cases just like this, most of them in the last 3 years. An AI makes a mistake, lazy police run with it. But even worse is the intentional misconduct, like the officer who used the system to stalk his girlfriend and her ex-boyfriend. After he was caught, Flock told local news, quote, "This case is exactly why Flock builds our technology to include immutable, transparent audit trails so rare cases of potential abuse can be detected, investigated, and addressed." Nah, I'm calling bogosity, because it wasn't you who caught the guy. The ex-boyfriend searched his plate on the aforementioned HaveIBeenFlocked.com. Otherwise, no one would have ever known about it. Officers have been using such systems to stalk intimate partners at least 39 times since 2024. And that's just the ones who got caught. Meanwhile, Houston police have said the site, quote, "poses a significant officer safety risk." Huh? How? unless the risk is them being caught abusing the system. That's why they're taught to be as vague as possible when listing the reasons for their searches. Most of them simply say, investigation. Meanwhile, Isaacs needs daily therapy, and cops never seem to pay the price.